Hey, what's up, guys? Doing another Rivalry series video. Yeah, love doing these. I'm recording this on May 7th. Fuck the window. Anyways, I'm recording this on May 7th. Yeah, so if you see this video barely like May 14th, sometime the beginning of June, it's fine. Because I like to take the Rivalry series very slow. I like the people that take the time and say, oh, it's been a while since I watched one of these, or something like that. Just let the last one get viewed before I upload a complete shit ton of them, you know what I mean? Unlike sometimes I do with my videos when I'm uploading. This is something I take slow and I think I do very well. And this time around, we have requested by Lundrick. Thank you, Lundrick. Go check him out. I'll probably put his link in the description box. If you know who We Are Pro Wrestling is, probably put his link in the description box too. Go check them out. They make lists, like top deadly champions of all time, top TNA matches, etc. Shit like that. And it's pretty good too. So go check both of them out. Yeah. Lundrick is the guy that suggested this match, and I'm going to do it. CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. I believe this is number 8. Don't hold me to that. Yeah, number 8. It is. Okay. Pretty much, I'm going to start a little bit earlier. Pretty much, if you remember a storyline where Jeff Hardy was unconscious at Survivor Series, hit by at the stairs or some shit like that, and they found Jeff Hardy, I should say, unconscious, and it was actually Matt, and then they had the feud with Matt, and that's actually one thing I wanted to say. If you guys want me to do a Matt versus Jeff Rivalry series, comment below, or like this, whatever. Give me the hint that you want me to, do that. Because that's actually something I've been thinking about doing. But I like doing the requested first. So I'll probably end up doing that one time or another, in the future. But if there's another rivalry game in mind, inbox it to me. Or if you're that lazy, just comment below. But I appreciate the inbox. A, because it keeps the spoiling, the surprise away from other people that like to watch these, and B, it's just, sometimes I don't catch the comments in the videos unless I go back and actually see the video, because sometimes it doesn't email me the comment. So, it's just a guarantee that I'll see in my inbox instead of a comment. But anyways, as I was saying, you had the whole Matt versus Jeff, you had Jeff pretty much, he lost WrestleMania, won Extreme Rules. I am reading again. I like doing that. It helps me guide along. I believe the whole time this feud happened. Oh yeah, Matt was a part of ECW. That's why I couldn't think of the draft. Matt was a part of ECW at the time. Pretty much the Royal Rumble incident. Matt hit Jeff with a chair. That happened. Blah blah blah. And then Jeff eventually beat Matt in a I Quit match. Put him through the table. Then that's when Matt had the stupid arm injury. And, no, that was a backlash. Then we go to Extreme Rules, which just us I am. Jeff Hardy had his long-awaited rematch with Edge, who he lost to at the Royal Rumble. Jeff Hardy actually won the World Heavyweight Championship. I believe this was the second time. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, I mean the second championship run, not the World Championship, but second major title run. He won the championship, and CM Punk cashed in, turning heel. I do remember most matches. I can't wait to talk about SummerSlam. Oh, good match. Good match. Let's see. What it says here is Hardy received his rematch at the Bash, won the match via disqualification. Again, like I said, CM Punk did turn heel, so it did make sense for him to win at disqualification by the time. And Night Champions, however, oh yeah. No, we're not Night Champions yet. My apologies. Wait, yeah, we are. Oh my god. See, that's the thing, because Night Champions is now in September. But actually, during this time, it was July that Night Champions happened. So it wasn't Night Champions. And I do remember this match. I actually remember saying, fuck. I think it was the same night that CM Punk said, Hardy is your drug abuser, and having him be a champion is a complete disaster, and goes against the company and shit. And just some of the freaking promos that Punk did as a heel. He's a great face, in my opinion. But, I mean, he was a great heel, too. Really was. Very underrated as a heel. I hate how people just kind of like, oh, CM Punk's the #1 indie babyface in the fucking world. No, I hate how people do that. He was actually a very, very good heel. Underrated work, so You know, if you ever want to go watch some of these matches, watch the whole pay-per-view. I don't care what you do. I'm just saying I suggest some of these matches. SummerSlam, 2008, 2009. 2009. Sorry. SummerSlam 2009. Got to get the years right. And, you know, it helps kind of get along. That's the match I suggest watching. See, here's what I never understand. Punk defeated Hardy. Wait. No, Hardy lost the title back to Punk in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. The major spot here was when Jeff Hardy came off the ladder and crashed into Punk, you know, on the announcer table. That was the big spot there. But looking back, the thing, even then I didn't understand why Jeff Hardy won that Champions. You know, it marked out and it gave CM Punk, in a way, Jeff Hardy a legitimate title reign, because the first time around he won in a triple threat, lost the next pay-per-view. The second time around, he got the Money in the Bank cash in. And the third time, just to lose it a fucking month later. So, yeah, even though Jeff Hardy won the championship 3 times, none of the reigns were legit. And the way the third one ended, which I'm about to get to in a minute, is a big deal. And I quote, on the August 28th episode of SmackDown, Hardy's contract was about to expire, so that kind of is your confirmation. He wasn't released. He was about to get fired. I mean, not fired. God damn it. His contract was expiring. Punk defeated Hardy in a steel cage match for the World Heavyweight Champion, resulting in Jeff Hardy forced to leave WWE. In storyline, I do remember the storyline. It was stupid. The storyline was put in place to allow Hardy to leave the WWE, to heal his injuries. And pretty much the herniated disc was the injuries, their injuries. One of the things that I remember, the promo was cut. It's actually not on Wikipedia, and I was going to quote exactly what he said. But I believe one of the things he said was, "I'll be back, yo." Not exactly like that, because he pretty much said, "I'll be back." And 3 years later, TNA. Nah. But, yeah, and then, I mean, the sad thing is, Jeff Hardy he's still not young, but I believe he's about to turn 35 sometime soon. Ooh, I'm on Wikipedia, so I could check. He's gonna turn 35 on October 5th. No, that's his debut. Where the fuck is his birthday? August 31st, and he says age of 34, so in a couple months here, he'll be turned 35. So even though 35 is by no means young, he's got a couple years left, you know? He's got about, if he's gonna go as long as Shawn, oh my god, he's got about 10 years left, maybe, or, I don't want to say 15, but 10 to 15 years left. If he's just going to go as long as Angle, let's say Angle's retired, he's got 5 more years. So maybe there's a chance he could, you know, come back to the WWE. And if WWE was smart, and Punk was a heel especially, that would continue this feud. Or I'd even maybe say turn Hardy heel. Why? It's very good psychology. The only problem would be you'd have to play a lot of promos to make people remember this. Because the last thing Jeff Hardy said was, "I'll be back, creatures." And of course, police went to his house and found some druggies. I don't know if WWE says, oh, well, if we just hire him back, we'll get a third violation. Because I could understand it from a business perspective. But at the same time, let's face it, Jeff Hardy's made very good revenue, very good pay-per-view buys, very good merchandise sales for the WWE. So bringing him back would not be a mistake. Throwing the bell on him right away would be a mistake. But bringing him back would not be a mistake by any means whatsoever. And I think Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk for, you know, one more match, it'd actually be a pretty good deal. You know, they have pretty good psychology, as far as you can tell, in a lot of the matches, especially their SummerSlam match. They kind of, not contradict, but they work, because CM Punk's a straight edge, you know, no drinking, no smoking, none of that shit. And Jeff Hardy is your little fucking druggy the hell, you know? So it works for these guys. They do contradict, actually. You think that in real life CM Punk would hate Jeff Hardy. And probably doesn't hate Jeff Hardy. Might not like the guy, and for obvious reasons. But, I mean, the thing about it is, I just felt it was a damn shame. The ending was good with this rivalry. It really was. But I feel there was never... How do I think the fact that it ended on SmackDown. Of course, this was due to the contract issues, why it didn't end on pay-per-view. But I think it was the fact that it ended at SmackDown. Was kind of like, really? That's just kind of like, okay, whatever. That just never really flowed well with me. When rivalries end on Raw or SmackDown, it's just stupid to me. Okay, I don't like it. Again, a contract issue, so it did make sense. But I think, maybe if they could extend like a 30 days and end this at the next pay-per-view, or kept him until Survivor Series. And again, that'd have the whole drug thing. If he would eventually get caught with drugs again, Jeff Hardy, oh boy, drugs. There's something that's never happened before. Just about 5 times before. But I mean, yeah, I'd just like this to be a more bigger, more memorable ending. And let alone, this feud should actually be remembered. I'm going to go ahead and start the ratings. So the ratings. The first match, well, I'm not going to count the Money in the Bank match. The way it was done with Jeff Hardy holding the belt, exhausted from the ladder match with Edge going. And CM Punk's walking down, and CM Punk's starting to get heat because they realize what's going on. That was good. That gets the rank, the way they ended the rivalry with Edge and threw him right into the rivalry with Punk. That gets an A+ on its own. Not the rivalry, but that part. The way they did that was brilliant on WWE's behalf. And I wish WWE had some of that brilliance still. The Bash, that was not a very... Disqualification endings never get shit remembered. Like, the best match in disqualification, in my opinion, was Stone Cold vs. Kurt Angle at SummerSlam 2001. But even then, it kind of didn't mean shit because of disqualification. The match probably was okay. Don't remember it that well. I remember the Night of Champions match, and I watched the SummerSlam match about a couple months ago, so I know it is a very good match. The Bash, I'm going to assume it was okay match. Don't hold me to anything. If you really want to be a smart mark ass, go ahead and watch it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of these matches, except for SummerSlam recently and Night of Champions. I just have memory because I remember the Jeff Hardy going, I got the fucking bell again. That's why I remember Night of Champions, because it was Hardy winning the belt, and I didn't think they would give the belt back to him, because business-wise it did not make sense. This is as stupid as giving Montreal, Bret Hart, the belt back at SummerSlam 97, just for the Montreal Screwjob that eventually happened. That's how stupid it was. Let's go with that. Night of Champions, the match was actually pretty good. The promos were good. The build was good and all this, the whole entire feud. But the result with Hardy winning the championship back, really all it did was to carry the feud longer, so I guess I can't diss it too much, but it sure as hell doesn't improve the grid. It doesn't drop it, but does not improve it by any means. The SummerSlam match, very, very good match. Good spot. CM Punk winning was the right decision, obviously. Even contract or no, CM Punk's the bigger guy. And even though now it's not really recognized due to his face work, I think along the line, if they made a DVD, this would be some good matches they'd put on the CM Punk History DVD. Continuing on, the August 28th match, that was actually a pretty good match on its own, too. Jeff Hardy, if nothing else, he did go out with a pretty good match, And I never seen Jeff Hardy in the bed steel cage match, so I'll give him credit for that. And the ending was good. Wish it was on SmackDown, but the ending was good. You can't take away because of the contract issues. So overall, this rivalry, match quality keeps it high, build, the way it was done, that all keeps it high. The only thing that's going to try to drop it a little bit was Hardy winning the WWE Championship back in a pretty much useless reign just to lose at SummerSlam. The fact that it ended on SmackDown drops a little, so I'm just going to give it just a solid A. There's no reason for me to really drop it just because of two things when they had great matches, great promos, great build, great chemistry. I just can't diss it because of two little things that really aren't a big deal in the end. I'm not going to say irrelevant, but not a big deal in the end. So I'm going to give this rivalry a solid A, especially the misfortune that it's kind of been dropped. So go watch that SummerSlam 2009 match. Good match. And, of course, you can inbox me a rivalry you'd like me to review. You can go to my channel, go to my playlist, and you can look. It's at the right side. You can look at some of the rivalries I've already done. Done Hogan Andre, Cena Orton, Triple H HBK. I've done some pretty good ones. Just did Undertaker vs. Kane a couple of days ago. So check all those out, and we will talk to you later. Peace.